If I may just interrupt for one moment, I have some very important news, a very important message to get across. Mr. Groundhog, go to hell, because after 6 weeks, like you predicted, the Cowboy Rivers Hour of Effort is finally back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, you are listening to KCOU 88.1, and this is the Cowboy Rivers Hour of Effort because it is 2 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited and ecstatic to be back, and let me tell you, it is not just the coffee talking. I swear, folks, this is going to be so much fun. I'm really excited to be back after 6 weeks. I just want to thank you all for waiting it out, and thank you for tuning in right now. I really do, again, want to reiterate how sorry I am for that hiatus. But you must understand that there was a little bit going on between here and 6 weeks ago. For instance, there was St. Patrick's Day when I shimmied on down to Rolla, Missouri for quite the time. There was also a little bit of spring break in there. Everybody might have gone to the beach, but personally, I went to the haven that is St. Louis, Missouri to spend time with my loving family. After that, I went to Kansas City to visit a couple of good old people there, and I even spent one weekend, instead of coming down to the studio, I kind of spent it on Ancestry.com to see if I was related at all to the people who are making the Hamilton musical. Turns out I'm not, but hey, the more you know. Now, that does remind me, because of all that stuff that has happened, I did promise some shout-outs for several people, so stick with me. We're going to get these out of the way right now, just so that I don't forget about them later. So, first shout-out goes down to Rolla, the Bueller boys. I want to thank them for showing me how to party. I tell you, after a couple of Irish car bombs, a couple of drinks, and a couple of trash cans that were pissed in, or maybe that was just one, I can't really tell you. I had such a great time down there, and I want to thank everybody in Rolla for that time. After that, I also want to send a shout out to Mama and Papa Rivers in STL. Hopefully you guys are tuning in tonight. If not, don't worry. I'm sure you'll hear about this one way or another. And also Sister Rivers out in KC and her good group of friends showing me the lifestyle of a good downtown city. I tell you, that was quite a fun weekend. A lot of memories and a lot of drinks in my belly. I had quite the time. So, we got those shout-outs out of the way, but we got to stick to tonight, the present. The past is behind us. So now we're going to talk about what is so special about the show tonight. And I tell you, the thing about this, folks, if you tuned in, consider yourself lucky because it is a birthday bash tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is Cowboy Rivers' birthday. It's my birthday. I'm so excited. Oh, my gosh. And I'm going to share it all with you because, ladies and gentlemen, Cowboy Rivers ages like a fine wine. The older I get, the better I taste. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. So before we get started with the music, and let me tell you, this music is pretty awesome tonight. I just want to reintroduce what the hour is all about because there was such a long time that people might forget what this show contains and what you absorb from listening to it. So we got some swanky music. We got discussion that goes deeper than the Marinara Trench. Anything can happen on the hour of effort, resulting in 60 minutes of thrills on an emotional roller coaster ride that hits all 32 attitudes in the Crayola color box. Folks, allow me to be humble for one moment. I am so excited that this station has molded me into the vessel that can send out all this stuff that is going through the airwaves. And I couldn't do it unless I was sponsored by KCOU. So thank you, KCOU, for allowing me to use your radio station that is in the basement of a building at 2 in the morning when no one else is in here, stranded in the Midwest. Veterans know me, but newcomers who are listening tonight for the first time ever, you will learn that I am a no-hold-barred cowboy. I dedicate my Fridays to late-night radio, and I put that first. So after Cowboy Rivers fills his belly with donuts, which he has tonight, and rubs a few out, which whatever. By the time I'm here in the station, the crumbs, the semen, all the tears, it's all been cleaned off of me, all right? Because this is Cowboy Rivers. That's who I am. and this is my hour of effort. So, folks, we are going to go ahead and get ready because what I'm about is some good times on the air, folks. You are listening to KCOU 88.1. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back, fellas, and welcome back, females, to the Cowboy Rivers Hour of Effort, only here on 88.1 KCOU. KCOU, where our all-staff group me is as professional as a second grader's show and tell. That is so true. That is so true. Just a reminder, tonight is a very special show on this hour of effort because it is my birthday, folks. April 23rd. I'm so excited. This is going to be an incredible bash. This is just so awesome. I'm really excited to be here in the studio. Glad to live it up with all my listeners out there. And hey, after all, you know what they say. You only turn 58 once, or not at all, as we've learned this week. Anyway, tonight we're going to honor just April 23rd, the day, because a little, as you may know, this day actually has quite a bit significance. In fact, there are so many famous births and deaths and just events in general that happen on this day that I figured I'd take time out of this hour of effort to kind of talk about them, because I feel like a lot of people, this flies under their radar. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this honoring of celebration and events. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, of course, the most obvious. It is myself. And again, forgive the narcissism, but come on. I mean, it's April 23rd, Cowboy Rivers' birthday. It's just so amazing. I mean, and when you look at just all the accomplishments I've done too, there's no point in really naming them here just because they're so obvious. I mean, it's just obvious that I would be the first person mentioned on this day when people think of this day. The second person, however, is also very famous. His name is Will Shakespeare. Yeah, he was born in the 1500s or something like that on April 23rd and went on to write a couple of novels or something. And get this, not only was he born on April 23rd, but the man actually died on April 23rd too. So, hey, Will, you don't have to be such an overachiever. We get it. You like the day, but come on. We got to share the spotlight, you and me. And some of the people that we also get to share the spotlight with on April 23rd are actually some of my favorite celebrities. You got John Oliver from Last Week Tonight, just a very funny guy. You also got John Cena, who got a meme made out of him for about 2 seconds, and then it was annoying as shit. George Lopez, who gives a shit? That guy from Slumdog Millionaire. Does everybody remember that movie? Remember when it won Best Picture? Yeah, 2008, man. And last but not least, the woman who inspired one of my favorite drinks of all time, the Shirley Temple, she was also born on this day. Nobody knows her name. They just know her for the drink. So, hey, more power to you. At least you got some sort of legacy. But one of the most important births that I've also forgotten to mention here is that of an experienced hour of effort listener. And that man's name is Scoot. Scoots, you are such an important guy, such a good friend of mine. I am very glad we get to share this day together in a totally heterosexual way. But homosexual wouldn't be bad. I don't want to discriminate on the hour of effort. Perhaps I've spoken too much or not enough, listeners. You decide. Anyway, let's get out of these birthdays and deaths and onto these events. One of the more recent events that has a little bit of impact, even though it happened about 11 years ago, is that the first ever video was uploaded to the famous website YouTube, believe it or not, on April 23rd. Yes, and that episode, or that little clip, is actually very famous now. It's called Game Grumps Episode 14 of Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, who would have thought that such a little video, when it was uploaded onto that site 11 years ago, would become just a staple and really a representation of what that website has turned into? Wow, can you believe it? Also, another thing that happened on April 23rd, but before many of you were born, was that Coca-Cola released their new Coke. Yeah, this is sort of a notorious story, but basically to keep up with Pepsi, they decided to redo the Coca-Cola formula, and the redo was actually later revealed to be Pepsi that was just mixed with cedar shavings and then put into a can. And I mean, the history just tells it as it is. I mean, because that's what it is still today. That's why Coca-Cola is number one. You just get the most out of each sip, really. But most famously, the event that happened on April 23rd that everybody should remember is actually one that a lot of people mistake. It's really the first event ever to happen, at least considering Earth and everything. So, 4.53 billion years ago, the moon was created on April 23rd. Can you guys believe that? I mean, it's just amazing. Wow. A lot of people think that happened on January 1st or that it's irrelevant, but that is bullshit, I tell you, okay? You got to know that Moon Day is April 23rd. Don't let anyone tell you different. On the Hour of Effort, we speak the truth, damn it. And these are the facts. But, I mean, the moon was created after popular demand, so I think it's turned out pretty well. So, I mean, I'm just really excited about just all the other things that are bound to happen on April 23rd in the future. I mean, because at this rate, this is going to be bigger than Christmas, folks. So we're going to only just sit on and wait for the excitement for the future of this lovely day. That just also happens to be my birthday. And before we get back to the music, everybody, I do have to answer one very popular question that has been written into the station quite a bit, and that is the question of what can our listeners get Cowboy Rivers for his birthday? Now, folks, I really do appreciate the thought, but believe me, the only response that I can give is that you continue to listen to this Hour of Effort, because without you, without the fans, without the listeners, I don't know if I would be able to do this every single week, except for, 6 weeks hiatuses and whatnot. But I mean, really just the best gift you can give is tuning in and showing your support for the show. And if you can't do that, AWOL Nation is also coming to St. Louis this summer, so tickets for that would be pretty cool. Also a PlayStation 4, because I really want to try the new Dark Souls. I think it's going to be really cool. Now, folks, we're going to get back to the music, and I think one of the songs that best represents me is going to be the one I'm going to play next, folks. It's Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Starfucker. Folks, you're listening to KCOU 88.1. This is Cowboy Rivers on 88.1 KCOU. Folks, you are listening to the Cowboy Rivers Hour of Effort. And, like I said 2 seconds ago, this is KCOU. KCOU, the last radio station that Heaven's Gate ever tuned into. Now, folks, we are going to continue this series that I've been doing this spring season, the biography of Cowboy Rivers, my life story. And this is part 1, 2, 3, 5, I believe. Who knows? Who cares? I can't even keep up with this shit. So, last time, I was in Catlantis or something. It's Atlantis, but it's full of cats. Who cares? Anyway, a disaster had struck my underwater sanctuary in the form of the angry god of the sea, Poseidon. Yes, underwater, where I was living with a bunch of cats in a place called Catlantis, Atlantis with a C, Poseidon, a Greek god that might not have ever been real, I don't want to discriminate, attacked me. Yes, this is all true. All of this happened. I want to reiterate that. And he attacked with an underwater army of unicorns, but these were underwater unicorns, so later they were renamed narwhals and became a lot less mystic, unfortunately. Anyway, he ravaged the land of Catlantis. Sorry, I'm getting caught up on myself because this story just gives me so many trembles when I remember all the madness and disaster that followed. But nobody knew why Poseidon was attacking this area under the sea, why this area specifically, until he declared his reasoning. He was trying to unearth a seemingly unlimited supply of the element strontium, also known as element 38 on the periodic table. Yes, he wanted this light metal, and if you're wondering why, let me just say, you better step back on that, because you do not want to know what the god of the sea, Poseidon, wanted with a light metal. Believe me, You'll enjoy your ignorance as well as the time that you will save by not having to clean your ears out with acetone because, oh God, that shit is nasty. That shit is fucked up. Anyway, back to the story. While all this shit was getting wrecked, I figured I would get good and decided to escape the sea after living there for several years. So I saddled up on one of the underwater unicorns and flew to the surface. But underwater, it's really just kind of like stepping in and then, going up. Anyway, I was out of the underwater war zone and I was finally up in the air again. And I was like, wow, this is really nice. Except for the fact that I couldn't see any land around me. And then my narwhal left me, so I was stranded in the middle of the ocean. I had no idea where at all, no idea where to go, no way to know left from right, up from down, east from west, north from other west. It was crazy, folks. For 6 years, I was stranded at sea. Yeah, and let me tell you, you don't want to know all the details about it. I'll just give you the Spark Notes edition and the stuff that'll be on the quiz. I saw some big old white whale. I saw a lifeboat with a tiger in it. I saw Rumham. Rumham was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun. And I even ran into Kevin Costner as a merman, and he actually let me drink his urine, which was pretty cool because I was pretty thirsty by that point. But eventually I did have to leave all these wonderful eyesores, and after several years, I began to lose hope even more and more. Finally, I decided to lay back on my back, like I said, on my back, and close my eyes, and I decided to welcome death. I wanted it to take me over. I wanted to go in my sleep. So I closed my eyes. But little did I know that I would be awakened. Yes, folks, awaken somehow. And not only that, but awaken on land, too. The things were looking up, but I was still dazed and confused. I was struggling to find myself. I had no idea what was happening at all until finally I got back to my senses and I knew where I was. Do you guys want to know where I was? I was on Fort Lauderdale for spring break, bitches! Woo! Holy shit! Yeah, shit, yeah. I got crunk, baby. Spring break, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Getting fucked up, getting wasted, getting creative, too. Now, let me tell you, I had plenty fun there, but it's really comparable to any other spring break, except mine was better. So, let's just say we'll stop with the biography for now. But remember to tune in next week, especially because I can only tell so much history until finally we catch up to myself. And tomorrow is next week, my mistake. Next week is where the biography will conclude, and you'll see how I became this DJ at KCOU. Now, folks, we're going to get back to the music, and the music's been pretty good so far tonight, except I must say I have to play something bad just to kind of even out the distribution. So I'm going to play a song called Anti-Meme by Gabi, and I'm also going to down a bunch of propanol, so this is going to be pretty fun. You're listening to KCOU or whatever, who gives a shit? Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I've had just the best time on this special hour of effort hosted by yours truly, Cowboy Rivers. Folks, you're listening to KCOU 88.1. Be sure to tune in next week for another lovely hour of spectacular effort hosted by myself at 2 a.m. on a Saturday. And folks, make sure you tune in next week especially because that is going to be the season finale until fall. I promise I will be back as soon as I can in the autumn after next week. But hey, just make sure you tune in next week because it's going to be quite the show. Let me just say, if you are going to tune in, be sure you got birth control or you wear a condom or take some Plan B because shit is going to get smexy. Yeah, baby. Anyway, speaking of smexy and sexy, I figure I'm going to leave you all with one of my favorite new songs by Ninja Sex Party. It's a little bit of something old, but from them, it's something new. It is Take On Me, everybody. Folks, thank you so much for listening to this special birthday episode. I've had the time of my life, folks. Hey, I'll see you next week. This has been the Hour of Effort on KCOU 88.1.